with Joe Dumars, the president of operations for the Detroit Pistons, and ex-professional basketball player. Thank you for joining us today,
Thank
Joe.
you. Thank you. No problem.
Can you talk really about what the hard work and the dedication that it takes to make it as a professional athlete?
You know, I can talk about, Jordan, I can talk about, for me personally, I can't say this is what every young athlete should do because it's different for different athletes. But I know for me personally, it was a passion that it's what you thought about all the time. I'm in class, I was a good student, I made good grades, I went out on dates, I did everything. But always lurking in the back of my mind was the next time I'm on the court. I have an 18-year-old son, and I've said this to him. I said, listen, his name is Jordan. I said, Jordan, when something is a passion for you, you never dread doing it. Even when you're tired, it's a passion inside of you. You like, oh, man, I'm tired, but I want to do this. And so that's when, and I said to him, I said, that's when you know something is a passion for you, or you have a passion for something, is when it's never a drag for you. You always want to do it. You always feel good about doing it. And so the amount of hours that I spent as a kid just shooting and shooting and shooting was untold amount of hours. And I remember shooting so much until literally my arm would just, like, okay, I can't lift it anymore. And I would just start shooting left hand until this arm could get some energy back, and then I'd start back with this arm. And that's just, it was just staying out there. And so by the time you get to this level and you can make shots with no problem, it's only because you've done it 10,000 times, 20,000 times, man, where you just was just automatic to you, just automatic, you know.
You were known in the league as a top defensive player. Michael Jordan publicly said you were the toughest defender he ever faced. Can you talk a little bit about your work ethic or how you approach playing defense and how you're so effective?
I've said for a long time that defense, more than physically, you have to have a certain set of skills to be a good defender. But more so than a certain set of skills, I think mentally you have to have a certain approach. You have to have the approach that not only do you take it personally when a guy scores against you. I used to always feel a sense, almost embarrassment, if a guy scored on me. Almost like I would be embarrassed in front of 20,000 people if my guy scored on me. If I shot a shot and missed a shot, I didn't feel embarrassment about missing a shot. But if a guy scored on me, I thought it was just the worst thing in the world. And I think you have to have that. I think guys like Ben Wallace, who was 4-time Defensive Player of the Year here, had that. Guys like Dennis Rodman had that. We talked about it, how it burns you when a guy scores on you. And so I think that's really the making of a truly great defensive player. I was born in Shreveport, Louisiana. I grew up in a little town outside of Shreveport called Natchitoches, a little Indian town. Louisiana is a whole different culture. But I grew up in rural Louisiana. I'm the youngest of 7 kids. I have 5 older brothers, 1 older sister. Great parents, just hardworking, lower middle class family. Struggles just like just about every other family had during that time. But I was surrounded by some very strong people. Both parents were very strong, very principled people. Believed in hard work, believed in sacrifice, and believed in respect and how you deal with others. So that's kind of a general sense of what I grew up around, having older siblings, having strong parents that had just incredible integrity. Not a lot of money and worldly things, but just unbelievable integrity and how you deal with people.
When did you discover the round orange ball?
Culturally, when you grow up in the deep South like I did, football is, you have like God, family, and then football is right there. And so culturally, I grew up in in an environment where basketball was just a distant sport. The reason I played basketball is because my 5 older brothers were all football stars growing up. I was coming along in the same footsteps, football star growing up. Being the youngest, you want to cut your own path. You want to create your own niche. And I finally realized, I said, no matter what I do in football, my brothers have already done it. And so I said, I'll just try basketball. It's different. And so I just kind of tried that thing. Got serious about it like my sophomore year in high school, and just dedicated myself to basketball from that point on.
And at what point did you really see this as a way that I could, make a living, and this is what I'm going to do with my life?
High school, I was only thinking about, and I could get a scholarship in this. I could go to college and get a scholarship in this. College, especially my first 2 years of college, it feels good to be one of the best freshmen in the country. It feels good to be one of the best sophomores in the country. Not until my junior year in college did someone tell me, "Oh, you're a draft prospect. You're a prospect for the NBA." I'm like, "Really?" Like, "Yeah." I mean, like a lot of NBA teams are looking at you, and that was the first time that I started realizing that, oh, I can do this.